candle jar. That's actually pretty fun. Look at that. Then we're going at the glazeware. Whoa. It's crazy. Oh, look at that little cute. What a lovely. Huh. Unsalted fries or over buttery popcorn. Interesting. Looks like it was a close call. Little puppy. Antonio. Whoa. That's crazy. Faces. Oh, is this the room? Mm-hmm. Whoa. Oh, look at that. That one's crazy. Oh, that's cool.
So just to help you kind of increase the volume on the bottom. And then if you like that shape too, you can also
Hey.
It's okay. Everything's okay.
Booga, booga,
So I have my clay, I've got my bat. If you have a teeny tiny little bat, you're only going to be able to stretch your clay so far. And then when you pull it into an oval or a rectangle or whatever, it's only going to be so big because you didn't get a big bat. Yeah. I'm going to open this up, guys. I'm opening it straight down to the wheel head. Very similar to the bubble that I did for the stack one. I can put it. I'm gonna work right there. So I'm all the way down to the back. There's no bottom here, okay? And I'm gonna ease this out. The thing about easing out a ring with like a slab like this is that it's really easy to just rip this right off the bat. Because there's no bottom, there's nothing anchoring it. It's really easy for it to go off center because there's nothing here, like a base. So, to pull it open, you have to, I'm like bearing down. You do that too? Yeah. I'm like bearing down, guys. My hand is like this. See how the clay is taking the shape of my hand? I'm pressing down and I'm pulling out at the same time. So down, down I press. I want to keep this pressed out. And the ring is going to thin out because it's getting wider. I can't stop that. But I'm trying to keep it centered. And then here I'm sort of pulling out with this hand as I'm bearing down with this one. I'm bearing down and I'm also kind of dragging it out. My fingers are down here because I'm checking the thickness because I don't want to get too thin at the base. So that's when things tear. So this is really thick the whole way. But now I have a ring. And now I'm going to pull this up. So this is going to be a fairly tall one. How many layers of pasta can you get in there? With meatsies. Meatsies, saucies, juices. Okay? How many layers of pasta can you get in there? Right? So I'm going to pull this a little thinner. So this is a little ridiculous for a tray with cups, because that's the assignment. But we're going to put this on. Oh my God, how many layers of potatoes, cheese, and cream?
Oh.
Okay. Or you have a tall walled casserole, you turn it into an oval, and you just pop a chicken in there and roast it off. Okay? So, I like to have the walls be pretty straight. I do not like a flare out. If you flare out when you go to stretch this, then it dumps even wider. You can try it. Now, you have to undercut, guys. So you're undercutting inside. You're trying not to angle this because you don't want this point right here to be cut super thin. So I'm just making a nice straight up and down cut. This is the ring. Now what do? You wait. You have to wait for this to dry before you can shape it. It needs to be in the right consistency. Is the consistency leather hard? No. How can I shape it? How can I pull it and stretch it if it's leather hard? Cheddar cheese hard. That's right, Deb. You know? So that you can stretch. The terracotta clay that I use, I fire it at a much lower temperature than our high fire clay. So I'm trying to get a specific surface. So let's see if I can top this off the back. So here's the tray, here's the ring that I threw around 9 a.m. Okay? And you can see the undercut here, you can see the undercut there. And look, you see that consistency? See how it's still a little wiggly? If I did this and it was leather hard, it would just crack, right? Okay, but it should pop off pretty easy because there's no base. Okay, so it's just going to be the ring. And when you got a ring like this, it can be any shape. You turn this into anything. An oval, a triangle, a rectangle, a square. Rhombus. Okay? Do like a black widow thing. You can do a lot of things with this shape. But I'm a girly, so I'm gonna go oval. Okay? Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a bat. So I'm gonna flip this. Because I want to score it. So I'm doing this. I'm going to make this an oval. So I'm going to stretch it. And if you guys throw these and this is pretty thick, you're gonna have to trim it. You're gonna have to trim it back, okay? You're gonna have to take your knife and kind of cut some of that weight away. You don't want this thing to be crazy, crazy heavy. So I'm just making sure that my oval's straight. Now I'm gonna score. This is when those Chinese art scoring tools are really come in handy. I have a couple scoring tools, guys, in my studio, not just the serrated red one. We used to make them, we used to hammer needles, because needles are like a tempered steel, whereas like push pins are not as well made and strong. So we would hammer, we'd snip the eyes off the needles. A sewing needle, not a ceramic needle. And we gently hammer them into a piece of soft wood, like a bunch of little needles in a row, so we can make torn pieces. So we set that there. Okay. Here's the slab that Al just made for me. I'm going to compress it. So I'm going to compress this really nicely with my rubber rib, my silicone rib, I think is the same term. Okay. This clay can take a lot. Stoneware can take a lot. I'm not sure if I would do this with Phoenix, but alright. So I might make this a little rounder. So here's what I need to factor. What's going in this tray? What's the assignment? Okay. So am I going to be able to fit all 4 cups in? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe just 3. Maybe not even 3. I could fit 3 in. Look at how awesome that looks. I like it. Right? Like a tray with cups. Or I could try and play with the shape and do something square so I have 4 cups in each corner. But my slab is a little long and not wide. So I'm just going to keep it kind of oval. But this seems to be working for fitting in 3 cups. So I'm going to just trace. Okay. You guys might need to come in on a different day to do this. So you don't have to fight for space. Okay. Score. So, scoring is really important. Deep shadows, guys. You need to see like a dark, dark squiggle. A strong score line. And all those clay boogies, they just add to the party, man. They just help keep your pieces really joined up. Now I'm going to take some water. I'm going to kind of flood the score marks. Okay. Take my oval. Good. And I'm just going to wiggle and jiggle and attach this down. And I'll seal it up. But this isn't the final seal. So I'm going to cut away the extra clay. And you're going to have to work on this in stages, everybody, because you're gonna need to get this to leather hard. So that way you can rasp the edges and file them down so they're not this weird little bump here. Okay, so over here, take away. I usually like this on a board. So I'm gonna take some soft clay and roll out a little vermi. And then I use this as a weld for the inside. Okay. So I start in and I just kind of squish in a little rhythmic push at the bottom, and I weld in the ring. And you guys can stand right over me. I don't care if you need to see this. You'll see it looks like a weld. Okay. Looks like a little weld. In this clay, you guys, it has to be soft. Can't be crusty. Can't be gross. Gotta use your nice stuff. Gotta bust out the good china for the weld. Okay. I'll pinch away that extra little bit. And then I can start to blend this a little bit. And it's pretty sealed in there now. Now, it doesn't look beautiful because I can't really sponge it because it's very wet. So that's why we're working in stages. So you want to kind of have something rigid underneath this, everybody. So you can do your flipperoo. Okay, up. Right in there. And now I'm going to press the underside of this into the ring so it's well joined. Really nice. So at this point, I would probably let this dry, and then I would shave it, sponge it, clean it up, and then if I wanted to come back in and put heat on the bottom of this, I could put like cool little feet on the bottom of this, or a little ring that lifts it up. You guys know I don't want to see this. I don't want to see that shit. I know your brains just go right there. You're like, yeah, let me do this. Okay? No way. There's no way these are gonna make it through the pottery. So it needs to be some sort of elongated coil that's close to the edge of this, so it really supports it. This is how we flip things, right? Wide, flat things. And then here, then I can start to experiment with handles. What kind of handles do I want to have on this? Do I want any? And I'm very more is more maximalist, Memphis School of Design mindset these days, okay? So, you know, maybe you flatten out your little croissant. You have a little handle that wings out so you can lift it. Okay.
Now let's make 4 cups too, right?
You can do, I will allow 2 to 4, okay? Some of you might go crazy and be like, 6 cups, woo! I had a student one semester, he actually was just in here, I don't know where he went, Alex. He made a really high one, And then he had 2 highball glasses, and he built a little compartment in the middle for like all the michelada stuff. So he had like whatever, the lime, and just like the little bottle of tahini, or like whatever he had in there, because he wanted like a michelada tray. So, yeah. But it could be for, you know, here's some lemonade. Or you can take them out and go somewhere, bake something in that if you want to. Okay? Or if you want these to be low and they're sauce cups. Okay, so you have a tray and then you have your sauce, you store it with the cups, and then you put your cups outside, you put your tzatziki and your hummus, and you fill this full of your tortilla, you know, or chips or whatever, right? So that's a handle option, right? So play with this. I'll put it together over the next week when it stiffens up. I'll put it up on some feet. I'll find the right cups that are going to work in this, and we'll fire it.